Hello Triton staff, students, and families. My name is Nate McCann and I'm excited to be the new principal at Triton Junior Senior High School. It is our goal to start school with a responsible and common sense plan that at the same time keeps our staff and students safe. The start of this year may look different, but we can still make it a great year.
Transportation to and from school will come with some changes this year. In order to maintain a safe environment, both the bus driver and student riders will be wearing masks. There will also be efforts to spread students out, which will include having family members sitting in the same seats. Sanitizing the bus will also be an important step, which will involve sanitizing each bus following the morning and then the after-school routes. To assist us in keeping bus numbers at a manageable amount, we are asking each family to designate a single pickup and drop-off location. We also will not allow students to ride a bus if they are not signed up to ride that bus. We realize that this may be an inconvenience for some families, but it is critical for us to maintain a consistent bus roster. Arrival and dismissal at school will also see a number of changes this year. Since these changes will impact the flow of traffic to and from the corporation, and not just the junior senior high school, information about these changes will be shared as a corporation. It is important to know that students will not be able to enter the school building until 7:45 a.m. each morning and will need to be picked up no later than 3:30 p.m. each day. The exception to this rule will be those students that are participating in activities directly before and after school. As students enter the building, hand sanitizer stations will be available and will be encouraged to be used by all staff and students. In past years, students have had access to computers in each classroom. In order to maintain access to computers, but creating a more sanitized environment, we are now issuing students with their own computer device. This device will follow each student as they move from one classroom to another throughout the school day. These computers will be picked up each morning and returned and charged before leaving school each day. Along with the computer, students will be given a protective case that computers must remain in at all times. Students will be responsible for the care of these devices, and each family will need to review and sign an acceptable use policy.
The food service staff are working hard to prepare for school this year. Precautions are being taken as we start back to school with the hopes that we can move forward to offering our usual meal options to students. When students come back to school, we will be offering breakfast and lunch. Breakfast will start off being a grab-and-go option that will be eaten in their first class of the day. Lunch will also look different when we first get back to school. Triton Junior Senior High School will continue to offer 3 lunch periods, but will make an effort to spread students out as necessary. We will accomplish this by reducing the number of students that are able to sit at any one table and using the upper deck of the main gym as a second location for lunch to be eaten. As students enter the cafeteria, and if they choose to eat the school lunch, will pick up a packaged meal before taking their seat. We will not be offering the a la carte option immediately upon re-entry to school. Tables and chairs will be cleaned between each lunch period. Initially, we will not be allowing students to leave the cafeteria at lunchtime to go to the activity center. We will reevaluate this decision after we get back to school.
The health of our staff and students will be our #1 priority. Each day, teachers will conduct a brief wellness screening on all students in their first hour of each day. Teachers will receive training on what questions to ask and what symptoms to look for during these screenings. An important part of keeping our schools safe during this time will be families doing their part to self-screen and communicate with the school when the household is impacted by COVID-19 or the symptoms occur. Staff and students should remain out of the school until they are fever-free without the use of medications. If students are ill, they should not be attending school. In the effort to support this message, Triton Junior Senior High School will not be giving recognition to perfect attendance or other awards for attendance this school year.
As we start the new school year, a few changes are being made, and the school day will look a little different. One of these items will be the use of lockers. Each student will be issued a locker, but we must limit the use of the lockers throughout the school day. It is our goal to control the hallway traffic and reduce the amount of gatherings that take place in the morning, during passing periods, and after school. Students will be allowed to take items to their lockers when arriving at school, going to and from lunch, and at the end of the day before leaving the school building. Students will not be allowed to return to lockers between each class. Knowing that students will not be able to visit their lockers between each class period and the need to carry materials for multiple classes at a time, students will be allowed to carry backpacks until further notice. Allowing backpacks doesn't open the door for all bags to be carried throughout the day. Only backpacks used to carry materials necessary for learning. This change does not allow other types of bags, such as gym bags or purses. Backpacks will be limited to a double strap bag or a shoulder strap bag. The traditional water fountains will no longer be used. Instead, they will be turned into bottle filling stations. We are allowing students to carry bottles of water to classrooms, but prefer these to be non-spill, reusable bottles. Water bottles will be allowed in each classroom, but their use will vary depending on the learning activities taking place in each classroom.
As we return to school, we want staff and students to be in a safe working and learning environment. In order for this to happen, we must take necessary steps to ensure the safety in the classroom, hallways, and restrooms. A major question being asked right now is, will students and staff be asked to wear masks? The answer to that question is yes, but it is important to explain when and where this will occur. When students and staff enter the building, they need to put on their masks or mask up. Students and staff are being asked to wear a mask while in the hallways, during passing periods to and from each classroom, while in the restroom, when visiting the office, and any classroom situation where the teacher feels it is in the best interest of everyone's safety. We are asking all students to come to school wearing a cloth-type mask or shield. When wearing masks, they need to cover both the nose and mouth. We must also keep in mind that some students and staff members will have underlying health concerns or live with family that have such health concerns. In these cases, individual students and staff should feel comfortable wearing their masks as needed. It is also important to understand that some teachers may feel more comfortable having students leave masks on during class time. In an effort to make the classroom more safe, we will work to spread students out by eliminating excess furniture and face all students in the same direction. As students enter each classroom, they will be greeted by their teacher and encouraged to use hand sanitizer. Learning activities, such as group work and small group instruction, will be limited as we start back to school. While in the hallways, students and staff will not only be asked to wear their masks, but travel on the right side of the hallways. The school will continue to be cleaned, but an emphasis will be placed on sanitizing. Classrooms will be sanitized each day and ready for students and staff the next morning. The last item we want to share today is what it will look like when visitors come to Triton Junior Senior High School. As usual, visitors will need to check in at door 1 and use the intercom system to contact the main office. Please don't be offended by our approach, but we will be asking who you are and why you're visiting the school. We do not want to make our school seem unwelcoming, but there must be a priority on keeping our students and staff safe. After being allowed into the building, you need to be wearing a mask and report directly to the main office. Unless you are a corporation employee or another approved contractor providing services, no visitors will be allowed beyond the main office. Thank you for your time, and remember to reach out if you have questions or concerns.